I'm going to complain for a minute, and I don't want to be really negative, but I feel like our training programs aren't always working. I feel like they don't go far enough. I feel like they're events, they're one-time things. People attend them and then they leave and they forget. I feel like they're built for consumption, not contribution. So especially if it's virtual. So consumption, I kind of log in and then I passively sit there and I consume almost like it's a Netflix. If we're lucky, it's as engaging as Netflix, but I'm not asked to contribute. So I'm not engaged, and then I'm not learning. I think that oftentimes our training programs, they aren't measured. And if they're not measured, we never know, is it actually changing behavior, which I think ultimately should be the goal for our training. So all of that to me looks like it's ineffective. And if I think of the flip side, what would that look like if we went from ineffective to effective instead? So learning would be linked to business objectives. So from the organization's perspective, what's the business objective that it supports? What's the performance objective? So what is the person actually going to be doing differently or better in their job? The manager, from a manager's perspective, they can see the change in behavior. They can see that change or improvement in performance. And from the individual's perspective, I'm coming to this training event, and it's not an event, it's part of an extended program, and there's different ways that I'm learning. And when I look back, I think that was a great use of my time. If I'm in a 1 hour or a 90-minute virtual training program, that time is well spent and better spent, or as good as if I would have spent that time doing my job. I've learned something and I'm able to do my job better. So if we go from being ineffective rather, to effective, what's that jump? And I think that middle ground is that we need to be really intentional about what we're training and putting out there. So intentional to me includes a few different things. If you can picture a few circles with me, on the one side, we're looking at training, and this is your typical kind of design a course and put it out there, and it's for a specific need. We can look at development. So that's more individual to the person, not a group of people like training is. And it's maybe a little bit more internal and longer term. And then at the bottom, we can think, what's the performance support? So sometimes it's not a course that I need to go on to. Maybe it's I need coaching in my role, or I need a really good job aid or a checklist or something to help me. And I don't need to go take a course. I just need the checklist. So those are all formal training or formal learning. So I think all three of those are swimming in a pool, let's say, of informal learning, which is often how we learn initially anyways. So if I need to fix something, I'll look up a YouTube video. If I have a question, I'll go and ask my colleague. So I think as learning and development practitioners, if we can be intentional about training, development, performance support, and informal learning, we can move from ineffective to being intentional to being effective. I hope that helps.